Chair Hyland, we're ready when you are.
Okay. At this time, I will call the Parks and Community Events Commission meeting to order. May we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Herrera,
Present.
Commissioner Jimenez, Commissioner Martinez,
Present.
Vice Chair Beshu,
Present.
Chair Hyland.
Present. Before we begin with public comments, I'd like to honor previous Commissioner Stephen Veriker, who passed away since our last meeting, and I would like to honor him with a moment of silence. Thank you. We are grateful for his service. Public comments is the opportunity for members of the public to comment on any item not appearing on the agenda. Please state your name and residence for the record, and each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak at this time?
Chair Hyland, I did not receive any requests to speak, and I believe Commissioner Travis is here for an item, correct? So we have no regular public comments.
Okay, thank you. Now we move on to agenda finalization. Are there any items on the agenda that need to be pulled or continued to a future meeting?
There are none.
Okay. Now we move on to the approval of the June minutes. Are there any public comments for this item?
Chair, we have no public comments for this item.
Any corrections or additions to the minutes? Then do we have a motion to approve and a second?
Motion to approve.
I make a second to approve the minutes.
Motion by Vice Chair Beshu and second by Commissioner Martinez.
Okay, I'm going to start the e-vote, and if Vice Chair Beshu, if you would please select mover. And Commissioner Martinez, and if everyone else can vote, please. Motion passes, all ayes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next, we are moving on to the agenda. Pardon me. We've got lots of good stuff up here. Item number 2 is the 2023 Fall Events Preview for the Parks and Community Events Commission by the fabulous Mr. Ryan Hunt.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Hunt is out of the office today, so I'm going to go ahead and give you just a brief recap. We will ask him to come back at the next meeting because I'm sure he's got a video to show you an update on all the events that are happening. But I wanted to let you know, because Ryan and I do work on this together, is included in your packet is the fall mailer that lists all the special events and the environmental programs, the recycling curbside programs that we have available to Cathedral City residents. It will be in the mailboxes by the end of this week. So it's included here, but it talks about all the events that Ryan would have talked about tonight. We have the art walk, the senior center, the battle of the badges again this year, and then of course our Parks and Rec, yes, our Halloween dog costume contest. And just to let you guys know, the park is closed right now for reseating, but we did put up a sign promoting this event. So this will be the first day that the park is open, and there is signage out at the park notifying the residents. So kind of like they'll come to the dog park, be frustrated that it's closed, but get to see that there's an event coming up.
Yes.
So hopefully that'll go. We also have Spooktacular, CV Rep is also included in the mailer as well. And then the important, at least from my viewpoint, the important programs, which are the curbside recycling programs. So all your new trash containers, everyone should have your blue container for recycling now, your gray is used for trash disposal, and your green is still used for your organics. So watch for that mailer and encourage your neighbors to read it and hold on to it as well. Any questions? All right.
No, but you were equally fabulous. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you very
Deanna.
much.
Okay. Are there any public comments? Are there any public comments for this item?
We have no public comments, Chair Hyland.
No motion is needed. Now we move on to number 3, the Dream Homes Park Progress Update. And that is not John Corella, that is Andres.
Okay, good afternoon, Chair and Park Commissioners. Thank you for having me today. Again, Andres Perez. I am your project manager for the Dream Homes Park, and I'll be providing you today with a project update for the park. So as a reminder, the park is located in the Dream Homes neighborhood. It is just north of San Diego Drive, in between Mia and Chia Place, and adjacent to the Whitewater River Channel. Here's a look at timeline of events for the park. Again, in December of 2021, the city was awarded the $8.49 million from California State Parks. The following February, we were authorized with notice to proceed with design and construction. And in August of 2023, we completed our design and engineering phase. And which brings us to where we're at today. In October, we're currently in the construction bidding phase, and next month, we'll be starting our construction for the park. Now, a lot has happened since our last meeting. I believe my last meeting update to you all was in April or May of this year. So, first things first, again, design and engineering phase complete. Plans are out and specs are out as well. In August 10th, we had a community update at the Agua Caliente Elementary School to provide residents with a project update And at the August 23rd, 2023 City Council meeting, City Council approved the purchase of the cooperative purchasing items. These are your large park equipment and amenities. And with this cooperative purchase, we get the lowest available price. We get to avoid the time required for competitive bidding, and it's a state-approved purchasing process. And these items purchased were, I'll go over in the next two slides. So here you have, for example, the fabric shade structure for the park. You see a double cantilever fabric shade structure, which will be over the dog park, which is similar to what we have at Panorama. Shade structures over the playground equipment, and a single cantilever shade structure over the fitness area. Next up, from landscape structures, we have the purchase of the 2 to 5 and 5 to 12-year-old playground equipment, and this also includes the installation of the rubber play surface for the playground equipment area. Also, we have some park amenities or site furnishing from Coast Creations. We have the benches with and without back support, the individual and group barbecue pits that are located throughout the park. Next up, we have the hardtop shade structures, and here we have there'll be one giant or larger group picnic shade structure over the group picnic zone, and there'll be a smaller shade shelter over individual picnic areas throughout the park. And lastly, we have the purchase of the exercise equipment or fitness stations from Greenfields Outdoor Fitness, 7 stations for the residents to use. Now also what we have as an ongoing task is a collaboration with engineering, public works, and code compliance, just to remind residents that, hey, we do have a park coming under construction. There will be a perimeter wall placed there, and the access that was previously there through the city property will no longer be accessible, so the rear lots, they cannot access the rear lots. So we're reminding them just to relocate the large items, and we're offering free disposal services to those residents needing help. And this is in partnership with Burtech Waste and Recycling.
So if you know of anybody that lives in this area within the Dream Homes community, we've done this program before. So what it is I work with the resident and I order a roll-off and I put it in a driveway. So we do like a 50-50. We'll cover the disposal, they cover the labor. We don't do any of the labor, we don't haul anything or tear anything down. We just put the roll-off in the driveway. Driveways to control illegal dumping. Put in the driveway. At San Diego, we attempted to put it closer to the back to help them load. And so then they load, and they work with me to do empty and returns, or if they only need one roll-off, that's it. So if there's anybody in that neighborhood that you're aware of that needs to do cleanup, please have them contact me. Thank you.
Let's add in there that once that wall's up, forever hold anyone's peace, because they would be trespassing by ingress or egress or attempting to get through their backyard to the wall that way. So that's why we're accommodating everyone now. So Commissioner Jimenez, as a resident over there, I would encourage to make sure everyone knows that once the wall goes up, which Andres is going to give an update on, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Moving on, so now that I mentioned that, again, design and engineering is complete, now we're in the project bid phase. Now, during the design and engineering phase, staff and design decided to separate the construction of the 6-foot high perimeter wall. Reason being is there was an opportunity to save 20 to 30% of typical markup costs. The engineering estimate for the wall, if included in the park, was approximately $1 million. So on August 23rd, we published an invitation to bid. On September 13th was the bid opening, and the lowest responsible bidder came in at just under $800,000, which is right above our estimate of 20,000% saving. So at the October 11th meeting, which is coming up next week, we will recommend a contract award, and construction is estimated to start November through January of next year. And here you see the construction, here in red, I'm highlighting the area of the 6-foot perimeter wall on the west side of the park. Now, as for the remaining park items, on September 22nd, or the remainder of the park, we published an invitation to bid. The bid opening will take place on October 19th, and the estimated contract award date is at the November 8th, 2023 council meeting. Now, here's a look at our fiscal impact for the project. So our remaining balance today, again, we received 8.49 from State Parks. Our increments today put us at 2.7 million, and our remaining balance is 5.7 for the construction of the remainder of the park, which is your clearing, grubbing, asphalt, cement, all those items. So, and again, the 6-foot high perimeter wall includes the 15% contingency, and this is a pending approval from council next week. With that, here's your park layout. Again, I want to highlight we have entrances at Mia, Chia Place, as well as the Central Plaza. There'll also be connection to the CV Link, just east of the park. 1.5 basketball courts, futsal field, open play area, dog park, and a centralized plaza zone for residents to use. With that, this concludes my update. Now open it for any questions.
As our wonderful project manager, per our council's priorities, we wanted to collaborate with the Public Arts Commission and make sure that there was art involved in every project that we worked on. Where do you see that being a possibility within the design?
Within the centralized plaza, there's opportunity to place it there at the roundabout.
Okay.
We do have conduit for lighting, and that's the area that we are focusing on right now. At the center of the roundabout.
I see it. I see it. Yeah.
Right here.
Right there.
Okay.
So for now it's just a tree, but that can be changed to.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Will we be able to be emailed a copy of the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, I can provide that to you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So when this goes out to bid and all the bids come in, will we be able to review the bids that come in, or will that be something that's handled through city staff?
It's a function of staff. So the staff will be reviewing it. It's a public bid, so we'll organize the prices and make the recommendation to city council.
All right. Are there any public comments for this item?
Chair Hyland, we did not receive any public comments.
Any further comments from the commission? Thank you. Moving on, continuing with the Dream Homes Park, to the Dream Homes Park Naming Subcommittee by Commissioner Jimenez.
Chair, I'll work with Commissioner Jimenez on this because he was the proponent in getting this thing moving a little faster than staff was doing it. So I want to compliment him because there was some that needed to get done. So as all of you know, the Dream Homes Park isn't the actual name, although forever in history with the state, it'll be called the Dream Homes Park, just like the Cathedral Canyon Bridge is the Cathedral Canyon Bridge. All their funding shows Cathedral Canyon Bridge. But we, as the city, always have the opportunity to rename things, just as we did the Cathedral Canyon Bridge. We made it the Ophelia Bringus Memorial Bridge. In this case, Dream Homes Park, everyone kind of knew it was going to get a name, and we have to start the process. We do have a little time, but starting the process now. So Commissioner Jimenez reminded me we needed to get this going. So the formalized process to get this done, and this is in line with our city naming process, especially as it's a park and we want it to be really generated from the Parks and Community Events Commission, is for the Dream Homes, for the PACE, to actually appoint 2 members on a naming subcommittee. In addition to that, identify some members of the community that would like to be on this naming committee, because we want that grassroots effort to come to the community, because they're the ones that really designed it. I'm encouraging a nomination of at least Commissioner Jimenez to be on the subcommittee as one of its PACE members. And then I've also encouraged Commissioner Jimenez to reach out to the community and secure some volunteers to move this process along. Potentially tonight, he can name some volunteers who would work with the subcommittee on garnering the names. So over the next month or 2 months, however quickly can do it, do a poll of the community, get a list of names, optimal names for the park, and then hone it down to what they saw as the name as being coming up the most, what's the favorite name, so that that subcommittee can bring it back to a future PACE meeting, make the recommendations, the PACE make a decision and recommend it. Recommend that name and the others that are on there to the city council for formal action and approval of the name. That way we comply with the city's naming process, and it keeps PACE definitely involved in the process, as this is a city park.
No, go ahead.
I said I would love to work with Commissioner Jimenez on this committee to put together.
And I've outlined the guidelines on it, so Chair, I'll let you take the nominations. You're going to have to formalize the nomination of Commissioner Jimenez too, so.
I will. I have a question for you first. Are we able to name multiple parks? Like if it was, say, Esperanza Park, which is one of the names that's been thrown around, would we be able to do something like, say, Stephen Verricker Field at Esperanza Park? Or is it only one naming right per entity?
I would say right now, let's name the park, and then if the committee wants to further dedicate portions of the park, or even a dog park name, or one of the soccer fields, or even the plaza, we would take that as, I would actually, it hasn't been done before, so I would actually, with the recommendation, say, if you went to the city council and recommended that you'd also like to be able, if the community desires so, to subname different portions of the park, that would have to go through that same kind of naming process. But you have the subcommittees formed, so you might, I'm not limiting you. I'd say let's get the first task at hand is get the name of the park done.
Thank you for clarifying. So at this point, is this where I would appoint or ask them if they accept the nominations? Commissioner Jimenez and Commissioner Herrera, would you accept your appointment to the Dream Homes Neighborhood Community Naming Subcommittee?
Yes.
And do I have a consensus of the entire commission?
Yes.
Yes.
And Chair Hyland, just note there were no public comments on this item.
Okay.
Okay, with that, if Commissioner Jimenez has names that can be put working with the subcommittee of the community tonight, or you can bring it to another meeting, but if you have the names tonight, it could be efficient to get that done so you guys can get off and rolling.
No, not yet.
Not yet? Do you want to name them at the next meeting then? Okay, so you're going to bring names that want to be formally on that. So next meeting would be November's meeting, we'd name that, and then either at the December or January meeting, we would, and the January meeting might be in question because it's right after the New Year's Day and the way it works. So we'd either reschedule that or put that at a February meeting, but it would be at a subsequent meeting, we would actually, you'd make the recommendation name, and you will need staff, work with staff on that staff report that needs to be done. Okay. So let's target the next meeting to at least get your members of the community as part of this. And probably, there's no limit, but you want a manageable crew, so to speak. So 4, 5, 6 members that can help you with that. An odd number is always good if there's a vote to be broken.
And can we have agenda item number 4 brought forth to our next meeting in November, please?
Yes.
Okay. Any public comments on this item?
We have no public comments, Chair.
Okay. Moving on to our next item. Thank you so much, gentlemen. This is so fun to say. We are moving on to the old gays from TikTok. And the sponsor is actually just Antonio. He's been doing all this on his own. So I want him to speak and tell us about this fabulous event coming up.
First of all, I want to welcome Commissioner Rick Travis from the Public Arts Commission.
Hello.
Welcome. Happy to have you.
Thank you. So the old gays from TikTok, I don't know how familiar you may or may not be with them, but they're pretty popular and they have over 11 million followers. So they're probably one of the most popular Cathedral City people we know, worldwide anyway. And so they have written a book. It's the Old Gays Guide to a Good Life. Right?
Good living.
Good living. I always get that messed up. To good living. And so what's happening can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I had trouble with that before. Okay. So what they're doing is that what we're suggesting is that we would have a book signing at the Mary Pickford and do it in collaboration with the PAC, the Public Arts Commission, and the PACE. And Antonio has been really spearheading this, and I've been being a new commissioner as of 1 month ago. I've been working with him and getting my feet wet. So we have met with a book publisher, our local book publisher. So one of the things is that we can't charge anything for any of our events, right? So obviously they want to sell books. Okay. So we can't charge people for books, but we got a book publisher who will, we talked to the publisher, and we got a bookseller locally who will be selling the books and getting the money and all that. So the event will be free for all those attending. We'll be using the theater at the Mary Pickford. That's about 210 seats. It should be fun. I think it's been used for other events in the past very successfully. We will have after that a book signing for those people who purchase a book, and then they'll sign the books. But they'll have a 1-hour interview with the old gays and talking about how they got into TikTok and how that all happened and about their lives. And so it should be interesting. It should be a fun evening anyway, at the least.
What time is the event?
It's going to be at 6 o'clock, and it's for 1 hour, and it's on Thursday, November 30th. So it's the last day of the month. So we have a budget that I need to grab it right over here.
We have it on the screen.
800.
Yeah. So what we have done is that we've split the cost, down the middle. I found out through my first attempt that my commission is not allowed to have refreshments, so I guess we're going to be the thinner group. I don't know, what we did is we're putting the Public Arts Commission is going to be paying more toward the theater and the audio, and they also have a technician. Thank you. We'll need one of those, I'm sure. Right. And a lighting, and they have lights, so all that's included. And we got a very good deal from our friend
We
Ted.
did get a great deal, yes.
It's a great deal, because for someone coming not from the city, it would be like $2,500, and they're
The
charging
theater
us
for
like
$1,000, which is great.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good discount. So that's kind of where we are there. So what we need is we need approval from both commissions, then that will go to city council, right? I understand.
Yeah, and if I can preface, the reason this can be done from both commissions is obviously from Parks and Community Events. It's an event, and it's going to be open to everyone. So anyone of all age and whatever can come to the event. And then from a public arts standpoint, art is literature's part of art. That conforms with that, so it works out. If the commission is going to approve this tonight, our staff liaison, which is our assistant city manager, and Ambrose, will package that up and take it to city council to authorize the funding from each one's budgets. And I'll leave it at that. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Travis and Commissioner Baishu, for working on this.
Thank you.
Are there any public comments on this item?
Chair Harlan, I did not receive any public comments for this item.
Thank you, Commissioner Travis. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm excited for this collaboration. It does require a vote, so I need a motion and a second to approve $800 from the PACE Small Events budget and support.
Before we vote, could I make a, I would like to
course.
just discuss it. I don't, it seems difficult to think using the commission's parks events funds for an event like this, because I feel like this sort of promotes an individual author, well, I know it's not an individual author, but a group of individuals. You know, it benefits a publishing company, and I feel like it's kind of moving funds from public funds into the personal pockets of author and publishing company. Like it's a benefit for the individuals that are putting on the event, and not so much of a benefit for the community. So
This is a free event for anybody who wants to come to it. The tickets will be available through the box office at the Mary Pickford. It's first come, first serve. And we are honoring probably the biggest people that have come out of this town since Tim Bradley. And, you know, they're huge. 11 million followers. There's 150 million people on TikTok. 11 million of them follow the old gays, including Rihanna. I mean, that is just huge. They're just huge. So what we're doing is we're promoting, in our mission statement of what we do here, I think it follows what it does.
well, I do understand that they're huge, but if they're that big, then why are we paying $800 for their event?
We invited them, so it is, the way I see it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that we are holding an event celebrating the most famous Cathedral City residents who happen to have written a book. The book will be available at the event because that's, part of this, what they're doing, but we are inviting the community for free to come and get to know them and have unique access to hear each of them speak and get to know them better. And we are paying for the refreshment side, and they covered the theater rental and that. And then the book sales are completely independent, supporting the only local bookstore in the entire Coachella Valley. There's only one independent.
If I may also, to get to here, the bookseller, the HarperCollins wanted us to have, in order to get a ticket, it was going to cost you the price of the book. We said we can't do that. We're public commissions. This is what we want to do. We want to honor these people, but we don't want to get in the book business. We don't want to be involved in any of it. We want to showcase our residents, and we want to have a nice little event for them. They're just magnificent at what they do on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I don't know if anyone else is on there, but they are just gigantic, and we want to honor them. And as far as once we partnered with the bookstore, we got out of the book selling part of it. So we've had, just to get to here, we've had to overcome a lot of things just to get to the point where it's not us having to buy the books, having to get stuck with the books, having us, we're just going to have a nice little event. The theater, we have a relationship with the Mary Pickford, and it would be just as, like if we were going to have the choir or anything else, it's an event where we're just honoring a resident, and they're just huge right now.
Similar,
I think it would also be similar to having an art show, because we would be promoting, we want the people to buy the art, but it wouldn't be like we were buying the art, but it would be, I think it's setting that environment, so people will get that's more like what I take it as, if that sounds right to you.
Do we have art shows for one individual?
I mean,
No, it's 4 individuals.
Well, it's one
Well,
group of...
let me set some rules of order here. Is public comment still open?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's up to you, Chair.
Yes, public comments are still open.
Okay. So with that said, you can. It's really up to what event you're doing and promoting. You can consider it if you had the Cathedral City Choir here and you're put on
Well, I
an
think the
event
question is, have we done that in
showcasing
the past where we do an event that's going to profit one individual or one group of individuals? Like if we did the Cathedral City High School Choir, that they're not profiting from this event. But I feel like an author and a publishing
I don't know if I
company
saw anything.
are profiting by the popularity that they're going to grow over this type of an event.
There's nothing in our ordinance or charge that limits that at this time.
But an event like this has been done in the past where we put on a public event for... Okay.
Yeah, one group that Chris ran, yes, they do, there are artists that sell.
Or like we have a food truck festival.
It's for one artist, though, is what I'm saying for. It's not for like any artist can come. Like this book event is not for like any author can come.
I believe so, in the past, the Parks and Rec Commission, or I'm sorry, the Arts Commission, yes, they have done, refreshments and stuff.
if I may also, we did a thing for La La Land. The guy that wrote the music for La La Land, we did the Darkest Night. We did a question and answer with the gentleman that went on to win the Academy Award. Right? We didn't get the award, but I mean, I'm saying that we did have this event, and we did pay for the rental of the theater in that situation.
Let me preface it another way. The Parks and Community Events is to bring events to the city and promote events they feel is in their sphere. Just like you promote the free movies in the summer, those movies are the city with different various groups. The PACE and the community events manager fund the actual movies, and we give free tickets to movies. The people that own the movie rights still get their royalties, so we in effect are paying for them, but we're allowing residents to have the opportunity to access these special things. And if it's within your budget and the PACE embraces it, there's no reason not to preclude it. So there's no big guidelines whether it's for profit or nonprofit, because the minute we start dealing with the Mary Pickford and you're dealing with a movie, even when we do movies in the park, there's royalties that have to be paid, and someone is making money at it, so to speak.
I also see this aligning with Pride in November, and this is a Pride audience that would feel honored and respected, which is a large component of our city, and I think that that's important to make sure that we are hosting events for all walks of life in Cathedral City and all of our residents.
Well, I'm not familiar with this group, but if they do have 11 million users, I think any sort of promotion of the city is good. I assume they would probably be promoting the book signing. I don't see them getting rich off of a book signing. That theater only holds 250 people. More than anything, I think the city would greatly gain from the publicity.
The bookstore is only buying 125 books from this event, so it's not going to be ginormous success for them. They're already successful on TikTok.
Do we have any further questions, or anyone need any more clarification? We do need a motion and a second to approve the $800 from the PACE Small Events budget in support of this event.
I'll make a motion to approve the $800.
I will second it. Or can I second it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a second by Vice Chair, is that correct?
Sorry? Yes, second.
Okay, I'm going to start the e-vote. Commissioner Martinez, if you would motion. Vice Chair Bayshu, if you would second.
Got it?
Please vote. Motion carries 3-2.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next, we move on to agenda item number 6, which is the Snowfest Holiday Dog Costume Event. And this is put together by Vice Chair Bayshu.
We're going to be using $100 to be included in this event. This event's being put on by the people that are doing Snowfest. They just asked me, because we're doing a dog costume contest, they now have an 8-hour event or something like a 7-hour event that they have to fill up. So they wanted to do a dog costume contest. So we're going to be doing by getting the $100, we'll be doing the presented by PACE. For this part of the event, they will pick out the categories, and we will just be doing the collection of the prizes from local vendors, and we will be getting be the volunteers for the event. They will pick the time, the categories, everything. This is just sort of us helping them, but we get it presented by moniker for this, and it helps elevate the commission.
Would you explain what Snowfest is for anyone who may be unfamiliar?
Well, it used to be just, it would be the last event that the mayor would have. They would light the tree, and then they would come up here, and then they would get the next mayor would get sworn in. And it was like an hour and a half, something like that, Santa Claus, and it was really a quick event. But now they're moving it to Saturday instead of a Wednesday night, which is great for people. And it's going to be from 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So they've got a big chunk of time to fill in. And they've asked us to participate by volunteering as part of their program. There's there's the Christmas lighting. There's is there going to be Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus this year?
Yes, there'll be Santa Claus and Scrap Gallery always have a big booth
Yeah.
there for the kids to make.
Will Council Member Ross be Mrs. Claus again?
I don't know, you have to ask. Yes, and it would be an hour. Do you guys ask if you could be judges if you wanted to?
No, I would just, they're completely in charge of this event. We have our own costume contest, and on this event, we're just going to be collecting all the prizes and be the volunteers for the event. They'll tell us where to go, what time to be there, and the name of it. So we're just sort of, they've asked us to just, because they have to fill up, looks like 7 hours of time now. It used to be like an hour and a half, something
So it's a
like that.
collaboration. We're collaborating with
Collaboration, which is
Snowfest. Okay. Do we have any public comments for this item?
Chair Hyland, I did not receive any requests to speak on this item.
Any comments from the commission or questions? We need a motion to spend $100 from our small events budget to support the Snowfest Saturday Halloween costume event at City Hall on Saturday, December 9th. Do we have a motion and a second?
Motion to pass.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to start the e-vote. Vice Chair, if you would motion.
Got it.
And Commissioner Herrera, thank you. Please vote. Motion passes, all ayes.
So, Chair, just to let you know, since this passed, we're going to, your staff liaisons are going to put together a staff report. Who is our commissioner assigned to work with us on that staff report? Would that be Commissioner Bayshu?
Yes, for both of the
Okay,
two
and
items
is
that
it
passed.
very similar to the Halloween
Yes.
staff
Maybe-
report?
yeah.
So you're going to garner sponsors for prizes and
Yes,
all
I
that?
better go to the same people, I guess. I think they're only going to have like
Okay,
three categories. So it's six prizes, which I've already done 6 prizes. So
okay, you're making it easy on staff. So we'll put together a staff report. We're proposing to put it on the agenda for the next upcoming available meeting.
And that go for item 5 and 6?
Pardon me?
For both items 5 and 6? that both passed?
6 will be put together by the Parks or the Public Arts Commission.
Okay.
lay us on. We'll be putting together the Snowfest.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Okay, motion passes. Next, we move on to agenda item number 7, the park improvement plan schedule for October 2023.
Good evening, Commissioners. I wanted to go over the last of the park improvement projects for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Some of this you've heard about, some of this will be new. How did we get this to one screen? Look at that, look at that. All right. So let's start with Century Park. The renovations for this last fiscal year included replacing the play equipment, replacing the soft surfacing around the play equipment, installing a shade structure. We replaced all the sitting benches, the tables, the barbecues. We resurfaced the basketball court, and the tennis court received brand new fencing, access gates, a new surface, and the installation lines of tennis and pickleball.
Woo!
I know, here's some image. So here's your Century Park. It's a little dusty. This is after the storm. But you have your nice double shade structure. You have a nice brand new slide, and everything's been painted. The benches around this area are also brand new. The grass we're currently reseeding. So here, again, picture's not the best quality, but that is a brand new basketball surface with brand new lines. What I would have been better if I had before and afters, but it's it's a great surface. The back looks brand new. And then the tennis court, you can't see the green, but I encourage you to go out and take a look at it. It is there, pickleball, so that's a brand new fence, brand new surfacing over at Century Park. Panorama received the shade structures. They had the replacement of the benches and the barbecues. We took the basketball court from a half court to a full court, and then we also redid the tennis courts. We did not do pickleball at Panorama. As we've talked in the past, Century was a pilot. So I wanted to see what kind of response we got from it, and then we'll move forward on pickleball locations. So here's your first. Panorama got 2 shade structures because you have 2 play areas out there. You have the bigger kids and you have the little ones. So here you are with the little ones, brand new surfacing. We also did internally, Public Works went in and did some good scrubbing. We also replaced a couple of the slide components that needed replaced, so it's looking good. Then you've got your second shade structure over the bigger kids area. The swing is not covered, but I think it works pretty well. Looks really nice. Here's your new tennis court, new nets, new posts, all of it, new backboard. This area gets a lot of use, not for just tennis, but for pop-up little workouts and stuff. So what we do have problems with is the kids sitting on those nets. So far, cross your fingers, it's been really nice since we renovated it. As you'll see back here, here's the basketball court. So it was half, now this is full. We have our striping, and you can see the trucks in the background. We are removing, during the reseeding process, we are removing a perimeter around the basketball court, similar to almost exactly what we did to the volleyball court. So we put in DG. I've ordered some additional shade trees, some sitting benches, so it's a little area. It never was irrigated very well, so it always looked dead because the irrigation system just didn't. It had to stay off the sidewalks, off the court, so it was in bad area for both the volleyball and then it also was around CVWD's well area, which it always looked like a mess. So on the volleyball side, it's looked a lot cleaner with that DG, and then it's allowed us to put in shade trees so you can sit if you're watching somebody do a pickup game. Basketball court, and because everybody was asking recently, brand new basketball backings there. Hoops, that's the right one. And a recap, Soccer Park this last fiscal year, they got 7 new outdoor fitness equipment, similar images to what you saw with Dream Homes. So far, so good, that we get a lot of use on the perimeter of Soccer Park. So for the 10, we have 17 different pieces out there, the 10 that were still in good condition. We repainted, worked if they had any parts that needed replaced, we got them replaced. We removed the surfacing around them and cleaned up the grass sand area at the soccer park that had accumulated around these areas and pushed it back. So the turf along the walking path's all nice and level now. And then Akatillo Park, they got 2 of their workout machines that were broken, were replaced, and they got brand new soft surfacing. So that completes. What I didn't include in here was our ADA, but I didn't think you wanted to see a bunch of sidewalks. So ADA is completed at Panorama Park. So the next 2 parks that we'll be working on is Century and Soccer. So at the November meeting, I will provide updates. For the 2023-2024 budget that was approved for park renovations.
Did any of the parks receive substantial damage to any of the assets from Tropical Storm Hillary?
Panorama did. That's my biggest one, and that was really sad. We lost 2 of the biggest shade trees we've had since the park was developed. So they fell over. But that's, the curb and gutter, the drain, the siphons around it were just packed with mud, but the park itself, between the trees just falling over, did okay. It's shade structure. Kudos on approving that double one. That thing held up during the storm, did not come down, so that was a relief. But yeah, besides those 2 gorgeous trees, and I tried to convince the boys to push it back up, but they thought it was ridiculous.
Can we propagate them somehow?
Yeah. No, one was significant because it was on Tachiva at the corner where the monument sign is. It's been there for 30 plus years. So, but that was the biggest damage, was the 2 trees, the 2 big trees. And we did replant. We did rebuild.
Thank you.
So 30 more years, they'll be bigger. Any other questions? So 2023, 2024, I'll do something similar to what I did this last fiscal year. I'll show you the chart, show you the budget, and our projections on when we think we can get them completed this fiscal year.
Thank you. Are there any public comments for this item?
Chair Hahn, I do not have any requests to speak on this item.
Any comments or questions from the commission?
Is this commissioner reports or no?
No. We're on item number 7. Yes. Okay. Now we move on to staff comments. Update on downtown.
Next meeting, because we are going to take the downtown dog park to the city council, the award of the design at the next council meeting. And then, so I'll give you an update on the specifics on that.
Would it be helpful to have any commissioners available to support at that city council meeting?
I would say it's always a good thing, but don't go out of your way if it's way out of your way. But it's always good, especially the chair. And then also I will provide, because we're taking this to the next city council meeting, an update on the baseball softball field reservations. So I'll cover what was approved, the resolution on, hopefully that it passes on the fees, and what the whole concept is behind the application and the reservation policy, so that we expand it to other accoutrements in the park and or fields. And then, as Deanna, our Public Works Manager, stated, she'll give an update on the 23-24 park improvement plan, as she just gave you an update on the carryover of last year's fiscal year's budget, but there's a lot of new items on the new fiscal year budget. And that's all the reports we have, unless staff has additional item. Christina, nothing? And Deanna, no? Okay.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to commissioner reports. Shall we start with Commissioner Martinez?
Okay. Chair Highland and myself did attend the last CV Conservation Commission. Currently, we've asked Christina for a meeting with Mayor Lamb. We just want to clarify some issues. But the commission seems to be proceeding and actually wanting to tie in a trail that ends in the Upper Cove. And they're under the assumption that the city's buying a parcel of land. So that's why we asked for the clarification meeting. They were also unaware of, I think you had told me it was either in prelim or maybe approved, the multi-use lane on the east side of the wash off of Date Palm. Didn't the city get funding for that?
The city, you mean on Cathedral Canyon or Date Palm Drive?
Well, first, I think they're inaccurate about Cathedral Canyon.
Cathedral Canyon, there is a multi-use trail that'll be installed on the east side of the roadway, and there will be a sidewalk on the west side of this roadway. On the east side of Date Palm Drive, from where the bridge ends all the way up to East Palm Canyon, the road will be, where it's not widened to its full width, so equal to what's on the bridge, and there will be a sidewalk placed there. The reason we didn't put a multi-use trail there is CV Link's going to go in right next to us to the east, even more east, and cross over the East Cathedral Canyon, or the North Cathedral Canyon stormwater channel, and then go off toward the auto dealerships and terminate there before it gets to Rancho Mirage.
Right. So, well, once we do have our meeting and more clarification, we could go back to the commission and try and coordinate something so we're both, they're not doing their thing with consulting the city, or the city's not doing something that won't tie in with their plan, because they have a few trail plans in the works.
That would be good. So if you can get your subcommittee to actually meet with staff, that'd probably be a really good thing. And that's engineering staff with all the projects and all the things that you're working on.
Christina, can we include that with our meeting with
Absolutely, yes.
Mayor Lamb? Thank you. Thank you so much. Those are long meetings. We appreciate your time. And next we have Vice Chair Baishu.
I want to bring up the summer movies. I just want to thank everybody. We did a great job this summer. We had 1,200 people come through the doors. That thing is back from the dead.
Can I interject that I think all of you have been invited to the October 11th study session for a presentation regarding that subject matter.
What time is the study session?
Study session starts at 3 o'clock, but this
3
would be
o'clock.
more closer to 4 o'clock.
Okay.
It should be 3 o'clock, but I can give them a better time frame if you like.
I think we kind of planned this about 4 o'clock, but
believe the email
Christina
that
will
came
give
out
you a
said
better time to be available. Pardon me?
I thought the email that came out said 4.
Yeah, I think it is, so just resend
I'll double
that
check the
out.
agenda and let you know if there's a difference in time.
But thank you, everybody. We did it. We did it. Really did a good job there. Okay, I'm done.
Yes. Well, my commissioner report is thanking all of you, because every single commissioner attended the free movies for kids sessions. And thank you for Commissioner Baishu for being so enthusiastic and even coordinating themes so that we were all dressed alike for the kids when we showed up.
Just for the Barbie event, nothing else.
But it really it reinvigorated our commission and the just the city seeing what we can do when we put our heads together and work well together. So I just want to thank everybody on this commission. I think we're doing a fantastic job. And everything I said regarding trails, Commissioner Martinez already said. So we will have an update on our trails subcommittee next month after we meet with city staff and Mayor Lamb to clarify what we do own and what we don't. Okay, next, Commissioner Herrera.
Just again to touch on the movie event, I think on a personal level, I think that was probably one of the most touching events I've ever been involved with. You know, to see so many happy kids, you know, with their parents, and then some adults as well coming in, and just, you know, to be able to enjoy a free movie event like that. You know, and it was a little heart-wrenching when we packed out one of the theaters and we actually had to send people away because we didn't have enough seats. So, I mean, that's how big it was. It grew more than, you know, I thought it would have, being that it was its first year back, but it was a really amazing event, you know, and thanks to all the commissioners that came out, you know, everybody spent at least once there. So it was an outstanding event.
And thank you for bringing in the library. That was killer to have them read the book and have the book magnified behind the screen. Excellent.
Thank you.
Wonderful idea. Agreed. Commissioner Jimenez?
Yeah, I attend to a meeting with the community. The community have a big concern about the CityLink.
Commissioner Jimenez, can you move your microphone a little closer? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay.
Thank you.
They have a big concern about the CityLink because there's been a lot of robberies in there. So we need to figure out what to do with them. Even more, more police activity in that area. And they are afraid when they do the park, they gonna happen in the park too.
So do we request some sort of study? I'm unfamiliar with to get some data on what's been happening since the construction of CityLink and crime statistics. Is that something we'd need to reach out to staff or police or?
Have these been reported to the police department?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll reach out to the police department and follow up with that. And actually, since it is parks related, we will fit it into police department's timing of, maybe we can have someone from the police department here at the next meeting so we can talk about that.
Wonderful.
So it may not, it'll happen probably in the next 2 months.
Okay.
Because it's coming as a surprise to them, but let's get someone here.
And get on it before we start building the new park so that we can have it addressed and you can report back to residents. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Okay. If that's all, any other comments, concerns, celebrations? We are adjourned.